Today is going to be a little bit of a different style of video. I'm going to be showing you the raw ins and outs of a one-on-one training session to quit pornography. The client's name is going to be obstructed and his name is not going to be shown. So you're just going to see the raw truth of the conversation. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Okay, perfect. So, start us off. Like, what do you think is your biggest challenge right now in like quitting pornography?
I think it's just because it's been like a part of my life for so long that it's um, a little hard to imagine kind of life without it, especially with it being everywhere.
Hmm.
And it seems like, with the more technology that we have, the more access that there is. Because before it was just sort of like just in one place at one time, but now it's like everywhere.
Yeah.
So I feel like just the accessibility of it makes it a little difficult, um, and just the fact that it's been kind of like almost a staple in my life.
How do you mean?
Whether well, it's always well, it's something that's what it's something that like if I was bored or horny
Mm.
or whatever, and it was kind of one of those things where it was because it's like everybody does it, just nobody really like talks about it unless they're actually talking about it.
Right. So
So
it was your kind, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was your kind of default mode. If you're stressed, default to pornography. If you're bored, default to pornography. If you're horny, if you got nothing to do, default to pornography.
pretty much, and there was a time where I felt like it was more or less under control. It was just I'd go to school, go to work, pay my bills, do my thing,
Mm.
go home, be alone, have my alone time, and then that
When
was
was
that.
that? When do you feel like it was pretty more or less under control?
Um, Definitely like pre pre COVID,
Mm.
definitely pre COVID. Because once lockdown happened and there was like literally nowhere else to go, it was like, okay, well, I'm kind of stuck in here. I'm working from home. The only time I really go out is to like, I don't know, get something specific, but that's really about it. And so that just kind of made it easier to just kind of like slip into that, whatever. It
Yeah.
was still relatively in the same mode, go to work, even though it's at home, pay my bills, do my thing, have my alone time. And then probably maybe like a year or two in, like it started getting worse because it started becoming more habitual. It started getting
Really, really quick. I know that you mentioned during COVID, you felt swallowed by it in a way. What do you mean by that?
um I think it was just the type of porn that I was watching. It started to feel like it was consuming me more rather
Mm.
than me consuming it. And I would say to myself, I would watch this, like I would watch certain things like once or twice, but then it started to
Right.
getting to be more habitual. And as I guess the pleasure ceiling started to rise, the intensity of it started to rise as well. Until it got to a point where I started feeling worse about myself than better. That was when I started noticing that this is there's something changed, something's different.
Yeah,
And
because a lot of people that I talk to, it's in the beginning they could get off to girls in bikinis, and then it goes to rougher things, and then just more explicit things, explicit content, because your brain just seeks novelty at that point. You don't get to the same thing. Makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And it eventually got to a point where I was just sort of like, I can't go any further than this
Mm.
because this if I go past this, this will be like almost morally degrading to me.
When
And
like the timeline, when did you feel like that? Was that pretty recently, or when did that happen?
I want to say that's probably like a year and a half or two ago. So probably like a good 2 years ago. Um, my best estimate.
Okay, so the thoughts of I can't go any deeper. It's still been going on for 2 years ago. Like it's still actively pretty strong, those urges and those kind of desires.
I've thankfully been able to curve them off a bit just
Okay.
from like setting hard boundaries with myself. Where it's just sort of like, if this is going to make me feel like this again, then like it's not, I can't do that. So I just kind of defaulted back to what I was watching before.
When you said if it makes me feel like this again, like you can't have it happen, how did you feel? Like was it like yeah, how did that feel?
Like well, kind of like what we were describing before. It felt like it was consuming me.
Mm.
Like it felt like it was not just entertaining to me; it was actually changing my brain chemistry.
I get you.
I could feel it kind of like just rewire things, and I was just like, and it got to a point where I would just be going about the day and I'd be thinking about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it wouldn't be like just it wouldn't be anything that would provoke it. It would just happen, and at first I was a little entertained by it, but then eventually it got to a point where it was like I'm trying to do something, and all I can think about is this.
I get you. Okay.
So it was coming up at more and more inconvenient times, times where I felt bored, times where I felt stressed, times where I just let my mind wander, and it just defaulted to porn. And I was like, we can't have this. I'm happy to say that that is now less of the case.
Mhm.
But it's still,
It's a privilege. You want your money.
there's still like I still feel it.
Yeah.
I still
Okay.
feel it.
I get you. And we'll definitely dive deeper into this. I just want to backtrack really quick so I get the full picture of everything.
Mhm.
When did you, I know that you mentioned you first got exposed to pornography around the age of 12 years old. When did you actually start watching it, like consuming it, like on your own time?
Probably around 12 or 13.
Okay, so around that time.
Because that was when we got a family computer and I was being very sneaky.
Mm,
And my parents actually caught me one time.
did they?
And yeah, actually my mom caught me twice. So that was fun. Uh, and I had to explain some things to her.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that
but
started on the family computer. You were around 12 years old because of
Mhm.
the access problem. And it's funny that you haven't checked out the videos because you mentioned a couple things I covered in the videos. The easy
Oh,
access,
really?
the rewiring. It's a pattern. You know, it's a pattern.
Mhm.
Well, I hope you guys were able to take some value from this conversation. I really hope it helped. But if you're still looking for that one-on-one support to be able to quit the P word, go ahead and click the link below and let's have a chat.